My name's Glenda Caesar. I'm age 60 and I'm a Windrush survivor stroke victim.
Oh, pressure, pressure, a whole lot of pressure, pressure. My mother and my father, I wonder pressure, pressure.
I remember when they first had that Broadwater riot. That one I remember. No, I actually remember the Brixton one as well because I saw people going down the road. But the Broadwater one, when Mrs. Jarrett passed away, her son was actually my boyfriend at the time. So I was told not to come into Tottenham. The message was sent, don't come into Tottenham. But I'm fast and I went into Tottenham. I'm fast. But I didn't go as far as Broadwater Farm because I knew that I'd get in trouble. But my kids saw it, but to sit down and explain to them what it was all about, they knew, but as young as they didn't sort of like take it in. But they understood that about why it started and the effect afterwards. But they didn't really question it, I don't think. And it wasn't something that I really wanted them to get too involved in. I didn't want them to because, you know, there was other things that happened in regards to that, the looting and all of that. I protect them away from that. I didn't want them involved in anything like that. I just didn't want them involved in it. They knew of people who were involved. I mean, Hackney had one. And I called up, especially my youngest one, I called him up, where are you? I'm on my way home. I said, please, because I don't want nobody to draw you into any of this. And he came home. But they, as young boys, they were approached on the street by police, but they never ever told me until like afterwards they would. And I was like, what? No, Mum, because you'd go into one and then you'd make a lot of noise. And yes, I would. Yeah, I would. But no, I don't think that my elder children ever got into anything like that. And I didn't want them to know about them things. I wanted them to know, understand what us as people of colour are going through. But I didn't want to keep basing it on racism in case I changed their mind and made them hate people. And it isn't about hating. It's about us trying to live as one and live together. That's still my belief to this day, even though the UK is treating me like, oh boy. But that's still my belief now. The kids nowadays they are fighting back. They are definitely fighting back, and so we should, in everything. With what happened with that child Q the other day, I identified. Oh my God, did I identify? And I so wanted to go and have my say and say, yeah, this is what happens to us. These are the things that happen because it happened to me. I wasn't at school. I'm going to go back. I wasn't at school, but I wanted to be at school. And my sister was at school, and she went to a different secondary school from me. So she said, come in my class today. So I'm thinking, okay. So I put on, it was green uniform, so I put on a white shirt, and I put on a green skirt, and I went to her school. And I was in her science lesson at the time, and teacher was taking the register. And then I didn't say yes. So he said, who are you? So my sister said, she's my sister. She can't be in here. So she said, well, you've got to go. I said, okay. So I've made my way out of the, I've made my way to go out of the school. And my sister was like, she's coming with me. So as I got to go outside, the gates are locked. Because that time they used to lock school gates. So the gates are locked. So I'm like, okay, well, I want to go. But the teachers come behind me and they're like, where are you going? I said, well, you told me to go. I have to go. I tried climbing over the wall. Oh, that was it. Well, then they started grabbing me. Then my sister got involved. Then my friend got involved. Then a cousin that went to school got involved. And then we got arrested. Police really attacked us, really did. They mullered us, and we ended up being arrested. All because I wanted to just go and, I wanted to be in school, you know. But I think that's the only time that police, from that incident, when I saw what happened to child Q, that memory came back straight away, and I thought, yeah, this is the way that they handle us. They don't handle us as if we're children. They handle us as if we're adults, whereas we're not adults, we're still children. So there's ways and means of approaching a black child.
Come on now. You don't have to be afraid. And you don't have to lie to us. We know all about your brother and the other Black Power boys around here. And we know that you're not one of them.
Don't listen to your brother. He's a well-known troublemaker in this area. And he'll only get you into trouble too. Just answer the questions. Then we'll let you go.
I felt, to be honest, I was so hurt. Because you know where you idolize a country. You're proud to be of that, you know. I was like, where are you from? I'm from Britain. No, you're not. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm British. I'm from Hackney. I'm proud to tell anybody I'm from Hackney. But when I got caught up in this, when the manager who terminated me from my last position looked at me and he said to me, you haven't got the right. No, there's other people who needs this job more than you. You've got the right for you to be here in this position. I went home and I was so angry and I started crying. And I thought, what have I done for them to treat me like this, where I've done everything? And then when they took away everything from me from 2009 to 2018, I was so hurt. But what hurt me more was that they took that same right away from my youngest son, who was born here. So they stopped him from having a passport, even though he was born here, because I was his mum, because he's got my surname. So I didn't like England after that. I just detest them, because I thought, how could you turn me away from me helping you? I was in NHS for over 20 odd years. I implemented systems in NHS. I went trust-wide. I helped them to fix up things. And then someone who's actually born here, you do the same thing to them. I just didn't like England again. I really went off of England. I'm the voice for my generation now, because there's no voice for them, especially those who have suffered this whole Windrush scandal thing. A lot of people were like, oh no, I'm not going to say nothing. But no, I'm going to say. I'm now advocate for a lot of people, and I still get calls where certain people my age group won't come forward because some of them can't read or write. Some of them were living like vagrants and wouldn't say, this, I'm affected by this, even though I was in this country since I was a little person. They've turned around and they've said to me, oh, I can't get this and I can't get that. So they never spoke up. But the minute that this happened to me, I was scared, I'm being honest. I kept in the background, I kept quiet. I said, boy, I can't get benefits. I started selling my boys old trainers for me to live. My daughter's deaf. I had to depend on her disability benefit. You know, my children were good, because every now and again they'd come, they'd be giving me like money, top up the gas, make sure the rent is paid and everything else. But there were people who didn't have that. So when this happened and I came forward, and within 7 days they gave me my citizenship, can you believe that? After 50 years in this country, it takes 7 days to get a British citizenship. So once they gave it to me, I went to various meetings. Then they talked about the compensation. When they spoke about the compensation, I was like, it's not even a compensation. But they call it compensation. It's what they owed us. Because many of the people, like myself, who went through this, were taken out of jobs. We were quite happy in our jobs. Because I was quite happy working. I had sort of like semi-retired, so I took a part-time position because I had been an administration manager, a PA, executive assistant, but I was like, nah, I'm tired now, I need to relax now, because I've been working since I was about, 17 upwards. I'm lying, 18, because when I had the boys, I said, right, I've got to work. But when they said, right, they're going to, whatever we lost, whatever we paid, because I applied for status letter to say me and my son was British, and that cost me £100 each. They rejected that, but they kept my money. Indefinite leave to remain, which cost me £345 each. They took my money. Now, I haven't got the money, but my trainers are selling on eBay, so that's my money. Right, I got to bring that. And then I still got to eat. By the grace of God, my children helped me. But then when they turned around and they said, okay, they're going to give us this thing, we complete the form, you put it in. The first offer I got of £22,000, £864, I will never forget it, for being out of work for 10 years, not being able to get my benefits for 10 years. I said, no way. I'll never forget the day I opened that letter and I looked at it and I was like, nah. I went straight onto Facebook and I was like, I am peed off. And someone said, are you okay? I said, no. What do you want? A journalist and a camera in my house like now.
Come on. Yeah, I'm coming. But I don't want any pate. Well, I forgot you don't eat patty, man. You ain't a patty, man. You're a fish and chips, man. All right, we're going to give you some chips, man. Come
So they came, and that's when I decided I was going to fight against this. And I turned around and I basically said that we're not peasants. Do not throw breadcrumbs at us. We're hungry, but we're not that hungry. Because I thought to myself, if my case is such a high-profile case, and you're just offering me that, what are you going to offer the people that's come up behind me who's a little bit worse off than me, who didn't have anybody to support them? And yeah, they took it in. I get an approach. And then I met up with some other claimants and we formed a group called Windrush Lives, which was made up of claimants, but we knew the experience we went through, so we wanted other people to come through. Because what was happening is the people, the Windrush community didn't trust anybody because there wasn't anything there for them to, anyone they could go to. But once I went on and I said this, I was getting calls coming in. And what I found, it wasn't only people who'd been affected by this, or had come from another country and was been here a long time. It was also people who were British, who had had their passport taken away from them. Yeah, the Home Office needs to come out into the community, sort out their systems properly. That's what they need to do. And don't just chuck black people, treat us as if we're nobody, because we are somebody. We're educated.
Blood, blood and fire. Blood and fire.
Let's hear you come.